I don't know how I ended up at Jay-Z's studio doing that. My parents were so mad at me pursuing music. And I think they were just really upset at the fact that I went down this non-traditional route. I didn't get to really relish in my wins because I felt so guilty all the time. I think that crisis of confidence went away. I said to myself, should I continue making music at all? And when I answered yes, it was like, okay, I'm going to go full force. I just didn't know I was going to be doing it in Arabic.
What do you think makes a good song?
Started diving into the world of tarweedeh. It's a coded folk song that Palestinian women used to sing in front of occupational prison to send messages to their loved ones, fathers, brothers, fiancés, husbands, telling them that they're going to come break them free or how to escape. And they would sing them so that occupational guards wouldn't understand what they were saying.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Quarter Tones. My name is Mikey Mhenna. Today on the series, we have Dana Salah, who is a Jordanian Palestinian singer, pop star. Can we say pop star? Do you like that term?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't really have any opinions on any of them. Singer, songwriter, producer, pop star, كله بزبط.
Okay. I want to start with producer and DJ.
I
want to start with that because I'm really curious about your time as a DJ in New York and what that taught you about how people like to listen to music.
So that's so interesting. You know, no one's ever asked me that before. So I moved to New York City when I was 22, 23.
By the way, before you answer this, I just found out that we both went to Duke.
No.
Yeah.
What years?
We're like, I graduated in 2007. So you came a few years after I left.
Arrived.
Yeah, we just missed each other. I had hair. It was a great time.
You know, it's funny. Like I went to Duke and one of the things I wish I had was an Arab community there.
And there were no, I mean, afikra is not unrelated to the fact that I got to Duke and I was like, where is everybody?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think same for me. I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing in the way that I'm doing it had I not been isolated from Arab communities for a lot of my time.
It's very true. Okay, but you graduated from Duke, you went to New York, you worked at Ogilvy, you're in the advertising industry.
For 5 months.
For 5 months. But then you start DJing.
Yeah. So I was always writing songs like from a very young age, from like the age of 9 officially. And when I got to New York, I knew I wanted to be an artist, but I just kind of needed a foot in the door. So my first gig was actually songwriting. I don't know how I ended up at Jay-Z's studio doing that. And then
you can we can figure out that story. How did you end up?
It's a friend of mine. Her name is Martine. And she was connected to somebody who knew someone and they needed songwriters. So every day after she was done with work, we were living on 14th and 9th at that point. And we would just walk to Jay-Z's studio, rock the mic about like maybe 15 blocks. We'd be there till 4 o'clock in the morning. We didn't know anything at the time. And we totally got duped. We got like 2% of the song that we spent night after night after night writing.
What song was it?
It's called Devil.
Okay.
It was called Devil. It was sung by like an actress on Love and Hip Hop. So it was kind of cool. Like after that song got placed, we'd walk around the city and we'd see little posters and advertisements on like those bus stop things of like Love and Hip Hop. And it's like, oh, cool. Like I was at Jay-Z's studio and I wrote a song and now it's on this thing.
What a flex.
I didn't realize that at the time. I think my parents were so mad at me pursuing music after graduating from Duke. I graduated, with economics as my first major and theater arts as my second major. And I started working at Ogilvy. And I think they were just really like upset at the fact that I just went down this non-traditional route. So I didn't get to really relish in my wins because I felt so guilty all the time. But so DJing, that was like another thing that I kind of explored before I landed, on King Deco and becoming an artist and putting out music like with my own like creativity and my own voice. So I don't know why, but yeah, I took a course at Dubspot. She learned how to DJ on vinyl. And then a friend of mine, his name was Nico, would take me around the city because he was a DJ and he would just kind of let me DJ. And it was just like a good, you know, first gig, or one of many first gigs.
I think DJing, the reason why I find it really interesting is that like my friends who are like working DJs, that's what they do for a living. They spend less time on their Instagram and more time on actually on DJing, right? Like those types of DJs, like they are so good at understanding. They hone their ear unbelievably.
Yeah.
They understand what moves people. They understand, like one of my favorite stories is a friend of mine who's an amazing DJ who's been DJing for years and years. I was at a gig that he was playing, and then he played kind of a weird song. And at some point, I was like, "Why are you playing this?" He's like, "Because I want people to go get a drink, so the bartenders make some money."
Crazy. Like you're orchestrating the
And
room.
it blew my mind. I was like, he's like, if I play banger after banger after banger, nobody gets drinks, and then the bartenders are mad at me. I've been playing this place forever, and I was like, you are playing chess and we are playing checkers. This is crazy.
Crazy. That's
Yeah.
nuts. So I didn't answer the second part of your question because I don't think it's never really occurred to me that that might have had like an impact on me creating music. But I am very aware of just like the music I make. I feel like as an artist, you need to have your finger on the pulse, and you need to kind of understand what people are going through, what people similar to you are going through. And I feel like when I write and when I make music, I'm kind of ingesting all of that, connecting with it, making it my own, and like spitting it back out.
What kind of music did you like as a kid? Like, you grew up in Jordan. What kind of music was on your iPod?
Um, I went through phases. Like as a maybe 5, 6 year old, I used to love Alanis Morissette. Like, of course, I was asking my mom a lot of questions like, "What does chicken mean?" Or because I mean, she's a very blunt songwriter. Um, I used to love Weide. I would sit and listen to her in the car with my grandmother in Michigan all the time. And, you know, at that point, they were like, you know, kids usually listen to different kind of music, like what's going on. And then after that, like iPod era, I was listening to a lot of like Ja Rule, Ashanti, J-Lo, Obi Trice, Eminem. And then when I moved to New York, it was like Fleetwood Mac was just like the soundtrack of that move.
Were you like, I always wonder like what kind of kid people were in high school. Were you the singer kid, or were you the theater or musical theater kid? Like what kind of kid were
Yeah,
you?
like maybe in middle, I was not the theater kid. Actually, musical theater was the one class at Duke I did not get a good grade in. But yeah, I don't know. I was very like between grade 10 or 9, 10, and 12, I was very studious. And like, you know, I thought maybe at one point I'd go into medicine. I was really good at it. And then before that, like I liked singing. People knew that about me, but it wasn't like my whole identity.
I'm curious though, like if like randos from your school,
Hmm.
right, like teachers that you had like at one point or whatever, saw that, oh my God, you know, Dana Salah from middle school, she had her like this billboard in Times Square as a singer. Would they be like, Dana sings? Or would they be
No,
like,
I
nah,
don't think
she's always singing
so.
Hayde?
I think it's neither, to be honest. I had a DT teacher, her name was Iman. She reached out to me a few years ago when I first started making music in Arabic, and she was just so supportive and like didn't seem surprised at all at the success the music was having. So they wouldn't be surprised, but and she wasn't surprised, but she also wasn't like, oh, it's obvious.
Yeah. So when you started songwriting, like you're in New York, you get a chance to go to Jay-Z's studio. Um, do you think of yourself like, I'm a songwriter. I've written lots of songs. Me and my friends sing them myself. Like I make stuff on GarageBand. Like I've been making like jokey songs with my friends my entire life.
Um, no, because I was very overwhelmed by the environment that I was in. It's a
Okay.
rapper's studio.
Sure.
You know, there was a bunch of guys there. I think I held myself. I was really able to carry myself well in those environments, but it's still intimidating. You're just starting out. You don't have any successes under your belt so that you can be like, oh, I deserve to be here. It's just kind of like, I'm here. This is crazy.
Yeah. Is the way you wrote that song, for example, similar to the way you approach songwriting in general? Is it like, are you somebody who writes the sort of the chords, or you think of melodies, you write lyrics, you work on production, you think of a loop? Like, do you have a reference?
It's crazy. My writing in English the process of that is so different from my writing in Arabic.
Okay.
In English, it always started with like melody, sometimes both at the same time. I just wouldn't be thinking and just write. I guess that's the common denominator between the two. It's like, I don't go into the studio session being like, this is what I'm feeling today. This is what I want to write about. It's either I just write and something comes up and I look at it later. I'm like, oh, that's what I was writing about. Or I go in with a concept. So the next single I'm about to release is called Bint Bladak. And the inspiration, or like the story I wanted to tell there, is that being an Arab woman, like there's so much strength to that. And the inspiration was Palestinian women in general, and just the way they're so strong and creative when it comes to resistance, but also how they're very much the backbone of society. So that was the inspiration. But I wanted to write it like as a love song where it's like, you'd be very lucky. I don't know how to say this without the connotation of like, oh, you'd be so lucky. It's like not like that. It's like you're a lucky man if you end up with, in my case at least, a Palestinian woman. But the song is called Bint Bladak, and I think you can relate to it in any way. So I like going in with a concept.
Okay, I want to play Weino for a second, just to get a sense. Have you talk about the difference between this and how well this did versus what you were expecting. So let me play a little bit of this for a second.
وينو وين فارس وخيله تخاف الدنيا من ويله استعمل بوصل بتكركب وخايف يتقرب بستنى فيك مش النوع اللي بستنى كتير ولا النوع اللي حيناديك ده انت لازم تركز تتماسك وتسيطر على حالك أنا مالي عالغمار أنا وأهلي ما مر علينا تلت الدنيا تطلب فينا وانت لسه ياما بتخازل بتقول تلولا حياتنا يم عيون السعدة نتلولا احنا حالنا شوفوا هالمهضوم بتلولح معانا رجعنا تفعلها وينو اللي سحرتني عينه وركبت بيني وبينه ما تخليني استنى واتمنى انك رح تتفنن تتونس بيه.
Okay, I want to stop here.
I haven't seen this in a really long time.
It's such a fun video clip.
We had so much fun shooting it. I can't tell you, the energy on that set was just incredible.
Okay, so tell me where that energy came from. I mean, for people listening to this, there's a part of your story that I'm not talking about because you've talked about it a lot, which is this sort of transition from King Deco to this version of your musical career, and this idea of like, okay, I should sing in Arabic. But that came at a juncture where you're like, maybe I shouldn't be a singer.
Yeah. And that always, I go through those phases a lot.
Yeah.
I went through that phase end of 2023. So happy I continued. It happens a lot, to be honest, where I'm just like, am I doing this as a reaction to some childhood wound or like this need to like prove myself? Am I doing it from a place of ego, or am I doing it because I really love doing it and feel called to do it? And I just have to ask myself that a lot.
Geez, I can relate to that big time.
Yeah, I think it's important because, like, at one point, maybe the answer will change and I'll be like, okay, I'm ready for something new. But as long as the answer is like, I'm being true to myself and this is what I'm meant to do, I think it's important to keep doing it.
So in that moment, this is your first Arabic single. You're doing it in Jordan. You're not doing it in New York. The production quality is really high. That 808 sounds amazing. The whole thing sounds great. The production quality of the video, of the song, of everything. it doesn't look like somebody who has a crisis of confidence. It looks like somebody who's like, I know 100% what is happening. This is, this is like institutional.
I think that crisis of confidence went away. Like right before I moved to Jordan, I said to myself, I was like wondering, should I continue making music in Arabic? Should I continue making music at all? And when I answered yes, it was like, okay, I'm going to go full force. I just didn't know I was going to be doing it in Arabic. We were in the studio and we'd written the first, I love starting with the instrumental. I always know what I want my soundscapes to sound like. So we started with the instrumental and then we had the melody. And when I came to write lyrics, my producer looked at me, he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm writing. And he's like, no, we're going to do this in Arabic. And I said, on what basis? Like, I've been writing in English for professionally at that point for 6-7 years. And we tried it and it worked. And then we tried it again. We did Weino. But with Weino, I knew I had something really strong as soon as we had like the drum beats and the melody. I don't even know if the bass was in there yet. And I remember playing it for my mom and I remember playing it for friends and they're just like, this is really good. I'm like, there's nothing there. And like slowly you see people's reactions. So by the time we got to the music video and, I had met Ahmed Aman and we wanted to work on this crazy visual that, we both, kind of came up with. He had a vision, I had a vision, like somewhere they met. By that point, I was really confident in the song.
Do you, can you talk me through the lyric writing process? Because did you have to access like a different version of yourself? You're like, wait a second, this is going back to wounds. Like, this is a part of me that it hurts to touch.
Yeah, no, I think it was a part of myself that was just like crying out for 6 years that was so unaccessed, but was very much there. I was born and raised in Amman, Ammaniya, like born and raised to Palestinian parents. There's a culture around that when I was writing music in English, I was not able to tap into. So there was a part of me that was just like, hi, like I want to be seen. Can I have a voice? And she totally came out in that record.
Do you like the feeling of being well known?
I love the feeling of knowing my music is connecting with other people and is making them feel something. It's making them feel seen, empowered, like happy, supported, less alone, sad, like if it gives them a place to grieve, which I never knew my music would be able to do that until I released Ya Tal'een. It was a song that I needed to make for myself to let out like that emotion, but seeing that translate on such a big scale was amazing. But yeah, being well known, I think it's just a reflection of that connection. I think if I were to really hone in on why I do what I do, connection is a big part of it. So yeah, it's always nice, like when people recognize you for the work that you're doing and are connecting to it.
Yeah. Do you feel like audiences react to you differently in a place like Jordan versus a place like Michigan?
I haven't performed in Jordan yet.
Really?
I did once, but it was very early on and it was part of a festival, part of a lineup.
Okay.
And I haven't done my first solo show there yet, but I keep getting messages from people saying, Yalla, no, when are you going to give us a show? And I think for me, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be done right.
Yeah. I mean,
So
let's change the question slightly. But like, I mean, you recently, I saw you performed in Qatar recently, but like in the Arab world versus
like Houston, I just did a show in Houston.
Let's compare Doha to Houston. What's the feeling like?
So Doha I was brought by the Qatar Foundation, which is Sheikh Moses Foundation. So I think there's a huge difference of when you're performing and people are coming to see you, buying tickets to see you. So the first experience for me was my London show about a year ago. And doing like a show because, someone invites you. So I haven't actually, wait, no, pause. I did a show in Dubai that was ticketed and, people came and it was awesome. Is there a difference? I don't know. Like, I think connection is connection, but there is, and maybe this is just my personal experience of this, but during the pandemic, I was stuck in Michigan for most of 2020. It's the heart of Arab America. Most Arab Americans have this longing to be back in the motherland. They think everything is better there. Some things are, some things aren't. So I really دخلت بهذا الجو. Like I really got into that. I felt that too. So now when I go and I perform in places like London or Houston, hopefully Michigan soon, I really feel that, how do you say it? Like I feel that connection to them and their experience of being in a place where they're listening to Arabic music by an Arabic artist. I went back to New York in 2023 and we went to one of those, I think it was a Laylat party or a Heza party. And I was there and it was insane being at, I think it was a place called Elsewhere. And I used to go there a lot when I was living in New York, but I would go there to watch Halsey or, you know, like indie art, American artists, DJs, whatever. And to see it like this whole venue filled with thousands of people and they're just playing Arabic music was insane.
Yeah.
And you like, I feel like, you know, we need that abroad. You really need that. So I relate to that connection, that part of the connection, I think.
How do you balance the like, because I was in New York in those same years and I started afikra those years in New York as well, in like 2015, 16.
We overlapped.
Yeah. I lived in New York. I moved to New York in 2012, actually.
Same year.
2011, 2012, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But one of the things that like I really have like a keen eye on as we're trying to grow afikra is how to like really like be allergic to nostalgia. But it's super hard because
what do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. Like looking at the history and the culture through these like rose tinted glasses constantly. And everything was better in the past and everything was amazing. And aren't we amazing? And sort of like, isn't everything beautiful and perfect? Right. And there's a place for that. Clearly, like when you celebrate something, there's a place for that. But that gets clicks so easily. Right. Like I know from our own, the work and the stuff that we put out, like that gets clicks. And it gets people to resonate when you give them something to like, to feel like, نحن, we are the best and we are the this and we are the that. But I feel like you're trying to navigate how to balance that thing of like, okay, how do I tap into the culture without like simplifying it? How do I tap into the culture without being overly nostalgic and stuff like that?
I wish I could say it was all conscious and like, yes, you know, I thought of all of this and, you know, it's very strategic, but it really isn't. Like, even if you look at Weino, there's a lot of things that we did because it felt right, but I wasn't like the watermelon as like the centerpiece in that fruit thing. The tatriz, I've been wearing tatriz since I was King Deco and like doing a radio tour for a song called Castaway. The deaf that the girl's playing, I just did a performance where I'm playing the deaf now. It's like all of these things just kind of add up because you're doing what feels right as opposed to, I guess part of it is like what we said in the very beginning is like I am very much trying to keep my finger on the pulse and relate to what people's experiences are. And that is one of them, you know, being Arab isolated in the diaspora, like isolated in the West, sometimes feeling unseen, like when you give them the احنا Arab and, you know, I guess maybe with Bint Bladak, subconsciously I did the same thing. Who knows?
If you were to try to like break down, like create a pie chart for the jobs that you have, okay?
Right now, it's a really bad question to ask me.
What percentage of it is singer?
Okay. Right now, like right in this moment.
Yeah, over the last year. What percentage of your job was singer? Actual, I sing. That's what I do. That's my job. Versus content creator, versus producer, versus songwriter.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even want to answer that because they're all kind of the same. Like singer, songwriter, producer, CEO, like sometimes manager, sometimes content creator, sometimes
they are different jobs.
Like that was like, you know, one of my job descriptions last year. I was like giving a speech at Attack on Education in Qatar. the second time I went, and it was nerve-wracking. I got more nervous speaking than I did singing.
Yeah.
I
But
don't know.
they are different jobs, right? And the
They're
reason why I
all
ask is
different
because you could
jobs.
clearly be hired as a songwriter. You could, you know, you could be hired as a producer. You could be hired as all these things, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, what the breakdown is. Is it primarily singer?
It is primarily artist. I wouldn't say singer. It's
Okay.
primarily artist.
Okay. All right.
Alhamdulillah. I'm fortunate. I have a lot of really great, hardworking people around me.
Okay. Let's listen to the next one. Ready? Let's
Yeah.
pull it up. What's the backstory of how this came to be and why it's so special to you?
I was scrolling on Instagram one day, and there was a clip of Reem Banna singing a song called Ya Tala'in. And I heard her singing, and I was like, what is this? This is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Instant soul connection. Started diving into the world of tarweedeh, which is what that song is called. It's a Palestinian folk song. It's a coded folk song that Palestinian women used to sing, and they would code them by adding the letter L in between words. And they would sing them in front of occupational prison to send messages to their male imprisoned loved ones, or fathers, brothers, fiancés, husbands, telling them that if Da'in are going to come break them free or how to escape. And they would sing them so that occupational guards wouldn't understand what they were saying. So instant soul connection, the songwriter in me is like, oh my God, I'm going to write my own version of this using that algorithm of adding the letter L because it's so musical and so beautiful. So I did, and that song's called Shumasad. And then when the prisoners, I don't know if you remember this, when they escaped from prison, 6 of them with spoons, I felt like I wanted to cover this song. And I did. I recorded it in my home studio, which no longer exists, in Amman. I just used my voice to make like the background music and the harmonies and everything. And I just posted it, and it did really well. And then fast forward to October 7th, like right after people were, I don't know who found this video and dug it up, but at that point it was like 2.5 years since I posted it, but they were reposting it and asked for a full version. And I was working on like songs like Braids, a new one coming up called Majnoune. And it was really hard to finish them. And it was just like writer's block mixed with like, just like, you wake up and you see these images of your people being massacred and you're debilitated. So anyways, like they were asking for a full version. So I opened up my old laptop and I just pulled up these vocals from 2021 and started producing this record, and played with the drums, and like the drums got shifted, but it sounded really cool. And then I brought in Hamid, shout out No One Tunes, to kind of help me finish it. And he played this beautiful piano part. And I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, but whenever people ask me how I got into music or when I knew I loved music, and I would say it was before I could talk, before I could walk. I don't have a memory of this, but my mom and my aunts, I'd be in the high chair, they'd be doing something, and they'd have the Sound of Music on because I loved watching that. It would just like kind of keep me calm. That was said like right before the marionettes scene, like the yodeling one where the puppets or whatever come out. I would have a fit of excitement in my high chair because I knew it was coming. Like I was really young, and they were always surprised that a couple minutes before that scene came up, I knew it was coming. And you hear that melody. It's da, 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 da. I played Ya Talain for somebody at a studio once, and I'm like, oh, this sounds really familiar. And mind you, the melody for the verses of Ya Talain, I couldn't think of anything else. And I wrote like 90% of the verses in my sleep. The English lyrics, like I was in bed, like typing on my phone. And I tried so many other melodies, nothing else worked. So this guy at a studio that I'm playing at Tarain for, he's like, this sounds really familiar. And I'm like, oh Allah, la rah ya'ad falsafa hada. He's going to say it sounds like some pop song or something. And he pulls out the Sound of Music marionette song. And I almost passed out. It's like, this is insane. He's right. Like, last night I had a dream. Da, 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 da. I was blown away into how your subconscious, like if you really let like your truth come out, it will come out.
I love it. Been writing it for decades.
Yeah, it's crazy. I also like digitize a lot of my home videos, and there's so many videos where my mom is telling me as like a 2 or 3-year-old, like just started walking, Dana say Weino. Dana say Weino.
La.
It's crazy. Crazy. Hey, I'm like, oh my God. Did my mom write Weino?
In the words of my mom, I invented you. So
You have an Arab mom.
I have an Arab mom. Okay, let me play a little bit of this.
يا طالعين عين للجبل يا مول الموقدين النار بين اليمن يمن عين للهنا يا روح ما بدي منكي لكم خلعة ولا لا بدي زنار بين اليمن يمن عين للهنا يا روح إلا غزالة اللي ذي جوين لليكم محبوس بين اليمن يمن عين للهنا يا روح ما بدي منكي لكم خلعة ولا لا بدي ملبوس بين اليمن يمن عين للهنا يا روح الحلم اللي كان رح يفتح باب الدكان بكرة منرجع زي زمان وتصيروا تيجوا عنا شعبنا جبار ما نسيوا مفتاح الدار كبروا أطفال الحجار وبحوا ريحة الحارة مشتاقة أرجع عند ترابك يا أقصانا أوصل بابك ونتلاقى نحضن أهلنا نطمن أطفالنا في بلاد السلام شامل لالي يا ويلي لالي والشامل لالي يا ويلو علي لالي وابولو لم تفتح شامل لالي يا ويلو وانا الليلة لبعت معي للريح الشامل لالي يا ويلو يا صيلي لبينا ويلي على يحملي لبا يا ويلو Last night I had a dream in the land of olive trees from the river to the sea my people tasted freedom soon those hellish skies turn to blue and starry nights as our voices start to rise we're ending an apartheid hold on
It's
It's amazing,
crazy.
Dana.
Crazy. It's crazy. I haven't watched it since we released it.
How do you feel watching it?
So I edited that video with Victor Kubo and Aday Imran. Huge shout out to both those guys. And it's crazy like watching it, like how deliberate I was like with the message I was trying to send, but really like that song took me like nothing. It took me nothing to create, it's just very easy. I knew exactly what I wanted the English verse to do. I knew exactly what I wanted the Arabic verse to do.
Who are you talking to in the song?
In Arabic are people.
Do you have somebody in mind? Are you like talking to your grandparents and your neighbors?
I don't know, man. Maybe my grandfather. Like I feel his presence a lot, especially around this song. Like I was falling asleep October 2024 in bed. And I was like, it's so weird. Like I feel him around. Even though like if I think about it, I don't know, like, whether it's his presence in my mind or his soul lingering, who knows? But I just felt his presence and I said, oh, it's crazy. I think he passed away around this time. And I don't remember what day he passed away. So I Googled it and turned out he passed away on October 7th. And I was like, okay, wow, this is crazy. And he was very, 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 very involved in the Palestinian cause. I didn't know that at the time, at the time he was just my jiddo. And
What year? الله يرحمه.
2010 maybe, or 2009, 2010, I think 10 maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, 13 years prior. But yeah, who knows how much he influenced, my love for Palestine and my commitment to the cause. I don't know. That's I think the Arabic verse I was meant to talk, and it's our people, and both verses give them hope, but the English verse is also kind of sending a message, to people who, aren't Arab, aren't Palestinian, just like we all deserve freedom and we all deserve peace equally, no matter what religion or race is. And it was also directed at the supporters of the Palestinian cause who aren't Arab or Palestinian. I think it's important to, kind of recognize their support and how much it means to the cause and how much it means to us. It's crazy also watching it. I was like, is my own song actually going to make me cry? It's crazy.
It's not really your song. You are the custodian
messenger,
of it.
Yeah.
At some point, that's not your song anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think none of them are really my songs anymore. They become my fans and people, whoever they're meant,
Yeah.
Songs move, art moves. It's like the same way that folk song found its way to me. I think this will find its way to other people.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
I want to talk about Shu Masar because it's directly related to, as you mentioned.
So I have a fast version and a slow version. And I was talking to someone yesterday and I realized that Shu Masar is kind of like the transition between my music pre-October and post-October.
Okay.
And my music definitely changed. And so this is the original version.
Let's play both. I'll play this one first.
Okay.
So this is pre-October 7.
The song was written pre-October, the song was written and started in 2021, finished post-October. And then the second one was made in 2024.
Okay. So this is the one of them, and then I think the other one is also on your YouTube channel. Okay. I'll play this one first. Yeah. Okay, I have a question before we do the other version.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think makes a good song? I mean, in terms of some people say if you can sing the melody with an acoustic guitar or just a piano or just one drum, and the song can stand up on its own, then that's an indication.
So my initial answer is going to be I don't think there are any parameters. I think a good song resonates and that's it. But I think there's truth to it. I think melody is the universal language. Music's the universal language, but melody kind of transcends words. So I think, going back to Weino, when I played it with just a melody, gibberish, and the drum loop, I knew there was gold there. Because of the way people reacted to it.
Okay, I'm going to play the slow version. That was the fast version.
Yeah.
I'm going to play
the
slow.
Is it on YouTube? I'm just thinking about it now. I hope it is. Yeah.
كلمة بلا حكمة ولا مغزى يا عيني همهم أذوا خوفوا أسوا أنا ما بعنيلي من وقت الوقت نمشي ولو فوق رماد نبني طنش بلا تهكل ولا تسأل بالويل شو ما صار زينا زي فخار نقسى تحت النار كل للآهات الهامي كل للأيام تحلالي شو ما صار قولي لين نهار بعد الليل نهار كل للزيتون بتلالي كل للآمال بالعالي شو ما صار.
This is a perfect example of what I want to try to get to, which is your approach to sort of production and basically that side of the songwriting process, right? So it's like these are the same song, the melody is obviously still the same, the production is really, really different, but the song still holds up.
Do you have a preference, Jane, too? I'm so curious.
Personally, I like the slow version.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally I do. Although I think the bass line in the fast version is really, really fantastic. Do you have a preference?
I don't know, to be honest. Maybe the slow one.
What's more fun to perform, like in terms of your catalog? Because like the people who are listening to this and not watching the YouTube video, the YouTube of the fast one is basically you guys rehearsing choreography, prepping for a stage show.
Mm-hmm.
What's more fun to rehearse, not only just these two songs, but just across your catalog?
Oh, what's the most fun to perform in general?
Yeah.
There are definitely like highlights, right? So Weino always does well. Ghazaleh does like fantastic live. I was performing it in Houston, and I remember looking over and seeing a group of like 5 guys, my age or older. Hang on, this is fighting with my headphone. Like my age or older, just like totally vibing out to this song, like singing Hali, Hali, Hali. And I'm like, it brought me so much joy. So that one's really fun to perform. Also, the dance for it is like this weird thing that I came up with, and I'm just like, you know what? Looks weird, kind of like random, but I'm just gonna go with it. People do it like while I'm performing. It's just so cool to watch. So it's Shuma side. I couldn't choose between both because I really do love performing both. So I performed the slow one going into the fast one.
Okay. Before we wrap up, the last question I want to ask you is your influences. So if you were to put together like a top 10 list between 5 to 10 names of people who you're like, these are my influences. Like there's a little bit of this, there's a little bit of this, there's a little bit of this.
Sonically?
No. Entirely in terms of career, not necessarily sonically, but as an artist.
So I was thinking about this the other day, and this is just so random. Like growing up, my idols, most of them were not singers. Actually, none of them were singers. It's so crazy. Maybe Weino, but like I didn't listen to a ton of Arabic, so I don't,
Yeah.
But like Princess Diana was one, Queen Rania, King Hussein. I remember when he passed, I bawled my eyes out because I really wanted to meet him. It's crazy. I don't know. None of my idols as like we're talking really young, right? Like we're talking
No.
pre 7 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I think about like if you were to do like a DNA test on your artistic career, who are the uncredited influences in your artistic career where you're like, Mikey, you probably don't hear this, but there's a lot of Prince in there, or oh my God, you don't hear this.
Sonically, okay,
but also like the way you dress, the way you look on stage, the way you're building your career, maybe as a business person, the way you think about reaching your audience and communication strategies, sort of like there's no way to survive in these treacherous waters without sort of studying people and be like, aha.
So I will say this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but
Please. Because
I'm someone who writes about my own life, maybe not always consciously, but it comes out in my music whether I like it or not. Taylor Swift is one. I really love how honest she is in her music and how unapologetic she is. So she's definitely someone I currently study. I'm trying to think what else.
That's a great one.
I mean, Kanye is a big one. He another unpopular opinion, but he is someone who will take, like when I heard the tarweedeh Shamali, the Shamadina sung by women, originally recorded by the Palestinian dance troupe, I was like, this could be a Kanye sample. And he just
100%.
pulls things from very different places. I'm really into West African music now. Hopefully get clearance to sample something on a song I'm working on. But I think that's really cool. trying to think what else. I had old telecast performances by Abdul Halim Hafiz and Warde and Kalthum. Like, if you listen to my production, I call it Spotlight Production because actually a producer called it Spotlight Production when he was trying to recreate what I was describing. But it's basically where an instrument will come in. We don't have a lot of harmony in Arabic, so an instrument comes in, talks, leaves, vocal, talks, leaves, oud, violin. They'll have a moment where they're all in together, and but it's I think those are my main influences, like random world music things that I find, old telecast performances. I also love like Hans Zimmer and orchestral stuff. And I think if you were to solo my strings, I wish I could play you stuff from my end, but yeah, like you'd probably hear that.
You can, if you want.
I'd have to open up a session and like make sure
okay.
it sounds pretty and stuff, but maybe next time.
Yeah. I mean, when I listen to your songs, I don't think that I would be like scrolling through 100 instruments and there's like a little bell in there that's impossible to hear. Like, I feel space in what you're doing.
I feel like space is an instrument.
Yeah. And
I really love like mixing. I think maybe Lana Del Rey is another good example. She mixes the old vintage feel with the modern and new. And I think one of the lessons I learned in Michigan is like being modern and traditional can coexist at the same time.
Yeah.
And I try to do that with my music. That's a conscious decision, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Last question for real this time. What do you think the chances are that if we speak in 10 years, you are still singing professionally?
Who knows? The chances? You want like a percentage, a number?
I mean, in general, I think about, because like you're going uphill. Like, this is a really, really hard thing that you're pulling off, and you're clearly pulling this off, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if you ever think to yourself that, okay, خلاص بدي أخلص منها.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if people know this or not, but I'm 35, and I definitely want to start a family and have kids and all of that stuff. And I think for the longest time, I used to think it was an either or situation, but I think like you can do both. And I think at some point, like priorities, or not even priorities, like what takes up my time is going to shift. It might go to this for a little bit and then come back to that. Who knows? Inshallah. But will I still be singing professionally? I think actually, honestly, I think it depends on the fans and how much they're still connected to the music and how much, what I have to stay still matters. Inshallah it does, but who knows? I'm open.
I love it. Okay, so in that case, everybody listening, like, comment, subscribe, and Dana will keep on doing it.
Nice.
Dana, I really appreciate your time, Anjad.
Thanks, Mikey. This was awesome.